to the cloud. All righty. Okay, welcome as everybody is joining in. I am super excited to be here. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kaity Draper. I'm a Black Diamond leader for Legacy Makers, and I am super excited to be chatting with y'all for the next little bit about how you can create your story utilizing social media, utilizing your warm market, and maybe even people that you don't know yet, right? And really diving into how we can utilize our look good, feel good group and that giveaway that we have going on this week for the duplication code. Everybody wants to know how to duplicate, right? I want you to drop a one in the chat if you want to know how to duplicate your business and grow. If you are here to grow, I want to hear it. Put it in the chat. Drop a one in there right now. All those ones, I figured that was coming. All righty. Well, we are going to learn how to duplicate your story and your customer base and all of that utilizing social media. Okay. So here is our theme for this. Okay. And this is really, really important. I want you to write it down. Okay. People, and I know you've probably heard this a bunch of times, people don't buy products, they buy into people. What that means is people don't want to buy what you're selling. They want to buy your story, your experience, your friendship. Like they want to know you, right? We all know that people, in order for them to purchase from you, they need to know you, love you, and trust you. And so we're going to talk about how sharing your story is going to help build that trust, that belief in you, and the friendship where they feel comfortable trying what you're selling, right? I want you guys to shift your mindset. No, you probably, if you've heard me train before, you've heard me talk about this. Um, when you join this business, sometimes we all get into the mode that we want to sell, right? We want to sell products, sell products, sell products. But guess what? This business isn't about selling. It should be about sharing and sharing your story. And it's really, really important to get down to what is your story? How do you share your story? So that people, number one, they start to relate to you, they start to trust you, and they start to know you. Okay. And sometimes that's kind of hard because you want to sell the products. And so it's really easy to just say, hey, look at this DHS. Go buy this from me. Here's my link, right? Does that work? Drop a one in the chat if you think that works. Drop a five in the chat if you think that does not work. Been there, done that, and tried that, right? Yeah, there should be a lot of fives, a lot of fives. Okay, because nobody wants to be sold. I've used this example before too, but when you go to buy a new car, right? This is probably the best example I could give of this. Who likes to be like literally rushed with sales associates trying to sell you whatever car they're trying to move? I don't. I don't think anybody does, right? Nobody likes to be sold to. You don't want to walk into a furniture store and have 15 people come tell you, you need to buy this couch right now, right? Nobody wants to do that. You want someone that is going to learn what you need and give you a solution for your problem. Okay. Whether that's that you need a new couch and you need a gray couch. And if they're actually hearing you, then they will take you to the gray couch. And guess what? That means they're listening. That means that you're starting to trust them because they're listening to you. And so you're more likely to buy that couch from them. Okay. Rather than someone comes at you and they're like, I have this couch, it's on sale. It may be green and ugly, but you should buy this couch. And you're going to be like, wait, hold up. I don't want that couch, right? You're not listening to me. Okay. So that is going to be the theme. Okay. You are the brand. You are your own brand. You are the brand for the products. You've probably heard people say you are the product of your product. Okay. Your story is your strategy. And that comes down to, guess what? Using your products. Okay. And being the product of your product and sharing your journey along the way. Um, Consistency is what builds credibility. So sharing that story, not just creating that share story, right? If you create that story and you keep it inside, Nobody's going to know your story. It's being consistent with sharing your story as it's happening to you. Here's a really cool thing to think about is that I like to relate it to like reality TV, right? Where if you watch reality TV, so Chris and I right now, this is bad, don't hold it against us, but we really like to watch Love Island. Anyone else watch those shows? Like they're just like a kind of an outlet, like just crazy people, right, doing crazy things and whatnot. If you watch any shows like that, that reality TV, drop it in the chat. Tell me, I want to know which reality show. Be honest, right? Don't be embarrassed. If you watch a reality show, drop it in the chat, right? Okay, so the reason I use that example is when you're watching reality TV, what makes you watch the next episode? Okay. What makes you drop in the chat? What do you think makes you watch the next episode? I want to hear some answers for this. Ah, we got some more Love Island people. That Love Island, y'all, if you haven't watched it, it's something else. The drama. Yep. A hook. Yep. A lot of times they leave you on like a cliffhanger, right? And you're like, I got to know what happens to these people, right? Like you're invested. It's created that story, right? It starts with episode 1 where they introduce the people and then it kind of expands and they start to form relationships and there's changes and there's this and there's challenges and whatnot, right? And so you get invested wanting to know what happens next. When you're creating your story with your products, right, that you're going to share with people, you want to create it in a way where they want to know what happens next. And guess what that takes? Consistency daily. Because if you post one time and then you don't post again for 2 weeks, what's going to happen? They're going to lose interest. They think that story is no longer happening, right? So, consistency every day, building onto that story from the beginning. Okay. From the beginning. And that's going to take us into our what I like to say our 4-step framework for when you're creating and sharing your story. Okay. There's going to be 4 things that you want to think about when you go to make a post. Okay. Number 1, and most important, the before, right? The before. This is going to be your life, your financial situation, your health situation, whatever you're making that post about. What is your before, right? Describe how you felt. Were you exhausted? Were you stuck? Were you ashamed? Were you broke? Could you not make your house payment like we couldn't? Right? Um, were you uncomfortable in your own skin? Be real and be specific. And that's one of my biggest things. And y'all have heard me say this a bunch of times. Be authentic. Okay. Be authentic to yourself and be authentic to your story. Some parts of your story are hard to share. They're really, trust me, I know. I did not ever want to admit to anybody that our house was in foreclosure last, the beginning of last year. Okay. That was the hardest thing ever that I had to, number one, admit to myself and then tell people. But guess what happened when I started sharing that hard part about our story and sharing authentically and real life is there's a lot of other people out there that are experiencing exactly the same things as you are. And because you opened up to share that, they are going to, guess what? Start to trust you. They're going to start to know you. They're going to start getting invested in your story because they can relate to you. And that's the goal when you are creating your story is to share all the parts because you never know who is going to relate to what. People will relate to different parts of your story. Okay, maybe someone out there they're not dealing with foreclosure and being able to pay their bills, but maybe they're overweight and they want to lose weight. Maybe they're an exhausted mom that's working nonstop, just like you are. Right. And so sharing those parts of your story is going to start creating those relationships that are going to, guess what? Help people to know you, love you, and trust you, and then want to try what you are doing to change your life. Okay. The before. Okay, the second thing to consider when you are making a post is the breakthrough. Okay, so you had this problem and then you found something that helped. right? Whether that's the financial, the opportunity, the Trinot opportunity, joining as an associate, right? Whether that's a specific product, whether that's DHS has helped you lose weight, whether that is, Zest has given you your energy and focus back. Whatever that is, that breakthrough about your post, you want to include that. What made you try something new? And those two things go together, right? You had this problem, you were an exhausted mom that worked nonstop, okay? And you tried Zest, for example, right? That gave you the energy to get through your day and be able to deal with your kids, right? When you got home from a long day of work. Okay. Whatever your story is, okay, you have the before, you have the breakthrough, the thing that helped you. And that's what people really want to know. What helped you? Okay. An example, a friend posted her progress and something just clicked. I was tired of feeling stuck and said, why not? Guess what? That's a really, really good thing because posting something like that, right? Number one is open ended. It's going to cause people to ask questions. And when you are making these posts, this is something to write down. Okay. When you're making a post, you want to make sure that your post does not give all the info. I know it's really easy, especially with the amazing products that we have, the amazing opportunity to want to give everybody all the information about everything that you love, right? I am the biggest culprit of that. Okay. I'm like, I'm so excited about this. I want to tell them about all the products and I would tell about all the things we've been able to do all at once. And guess what? That's too overwhelming for someone. Okay. So you want to make your post be vague enough where they have to ask you a question. Guess what? That's going to also help with engagement on your posts. If they have to ask a question, they don't have all the info. You haven't given them everything. So they have to ask you. They either have to message you, they have to comment, or they have to at least keep watching, right? And that's okay too. That's okay too. Okay. Number three, third step in our four steps, right, is going to be the during. Okay, the during. A lot of times we think of before and after photos, but guess what? It really should be before and during because your journey's not over. Okay, my journey's not over. Am I where I want to be weight wise? Yes, but my journey's not over. It changes, right? It changes as you add new things. I'm now going to the gym and building muscle. So that's my story now. Do I still post about, my befores and durings of weight loss and stuff? Yeah, it's still part of my story. But your story is going to expand. And so think of it as the during. Okay, the during. And what that means is you are always going to have something to post because everything is always changing if you focus on the during instead of, hey, I was here and I did this. Because if you have that end, right, they're going to be like, oh, the story's over. Your saga's over, right? Your reality TV's over. I'm done watching. But if you're constantly that staying in that during time, right? Where things are changing, you're adding things, your life's changing, right? It's going to keep them invested in wanting to know what comes next in your story. Okay. So here's an example. I'm just 3 weeks in, but I've already dropped 8 pounds. I feel less bloated, and my jeans actually button without a fight. Guess what? Does that say I used DHS and I lost 8 pounds? Because if you post something like that, right, they don't have to ask any questions. If you post the first thing, they're going to be like, wait, what? What did you do 3 weeks ago? Right? What did you do 3 weeks ago? I want to lose 8 pounds. I want to get rid of my bloat. I want to do that. Right? What did you do? So that's one of my biggest tips is don't give them the information in your post. Make them ask you a question. Okay. The during. And number four, guess what? Okay. So now you have this great post, right? You've outlined kind of the before, you've outlined the breakthrough, and you've outlined the during. You've had some people ask questions. What do you do with those people? Okay. What do you do with those people? You're like, oh my gosh, I've got comments. What do I do now? What do I do now? Do you message them and just like give them like 2 pages of all the information? They're going to be like, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. That's too much. That's overwhelmed. That's no, guess what? We have a tool that does all of that work for you. The look good, feel good group. Okay. So, next steps, you got these people, they're interested, right? They've commented on your post. Maybe they sent you a message. Maybe they just liked your post. Maybe they watched a story of yours. Maybe they watched a reel of yours, right? Any of those things, that's going to be a lead for you. Take that person, okay? Send them a quick message, reply to their comment. If they commented really big, reply to their comment as soon as you can with, oh my gosh, I would love to answer that for you. I'm going to message you. Okay. Send them a quick message that says, um, I saw your comment, right? Or maybe they sent you a message and just say, hey, I would love to add you to a group that we have that is going to help you with all of this information, these questions that you have. It has over 16,000 people in it, and they are using these products that I'm using too, that you're interested in. And I would love to share some of their stories with you as well, because there's so many in there, right? Something like that. That's just going to introduce them. And then ask a question. Is it okay if I add you? Okay. Is it okay if I add you? Most people are going to say, sure, sure, right? And so then add them. Okay. You're going to add them. An example of something you could send them after you add them. Okay. I tagged you in a video in our this says support group. I like to call it a review group. Some people call it a testimonial group, right? I like the word review just because I believe we live in a review culture. Okay, right? Who drop a one in the chat if you read Amazon reviews before you buy something. I do every time. Every time. In fact, I'm the biggest culprit of looking at the little stars on top right, and I'm like, "Ooh, this only got like 2 star I'm not buying that." Right? I'm not buying that, and then you start reading through the reviews and you're like, "Oh, this ripped the first time I wore it," right? Something like that. And so a review can either number 1 make you purchase something, or it can turn you off. Guess what? Our good feel good group, it is all of the amazing reviews. It is going to be your best tool. Okay. So I tagged you in a video in our review group. It reminded me of you. There's a giveaway going on right now, and it could be the sign you've been waiting for, right? We have that giveaway at our exposure. That's not the right word. um, on our fingertips right now that you can utilize as a great tool. Okay, let me tell you about a really cool post that I did the other day. Okay, it was a really simple post. Okay, it was me with my box that we had just gotten of our order. And it said something like, in fact, I'll pull it up so that I can read exactly what it said because it drew a lot of engagement. Okay. So it said, who would want to try what I've been using to lose all the weight? You could insert your own story, right? To get all the energy to whatever. That can be substituted for whatever for free. Okay. Super simple. I also added in there's something about sample packs because it's something I'm working on for some of our customers and stuff. But you wouldn't need to put it that. Okay. Make it something super simple. Okay. Something catchy that's going to catch attention. Um, and that is going to be a good gateway. Okay. Doesn't have to be something crazy, but people that commented on that, everybody loves free stuff, right? Everybody loves free stuff. So more than likely, you're going to get some comments on there. Okay. So the next thing I did when I got those comments is I replied to them and I said, hey, I'm going to message you. Sent them a quick message and it just said, hey, so we have a really cool group of over 16,000 people that are all sharing their stories about the products that I'm using because they're using them too. I would love to add you. And we have a really cool giveaway going on this week. I'm going to tag you in a quick video, watch it, and then comment on there, and you'll be entered into it. And guess what happened because of that video in there that is excellent, by the way, if you have not watched it. Okay. From that video, because of how it highlights the different products and some of the different issues that people may be facing, and that is a really, really good introduction into this product line. So I had multiple people come back to me and they're like, I'm going to order right now, right? They weren't even concerned anymore about the free product because they got the information from that video that they watched to get entered in to win the free product, right? But what happened instead was they got that information really quickly about some of our core products that made them want to try the products now and not even wait for the possibility of getting the free products. So if you haven't done something like that during this challenge this week, I would highly encourage you to do something like that to create that engagement and to get those people onto that video, because it is a great, great, great tool. Okay. So that is the invite. That is step 4, right? The invite. So we have in your posts the before, right? To be included. We have the breakthrough. We have the during, and then we have the invite once you have somebody engaged, somebody commenting, somebody liking something, whatnot. Okay. And that is where you utilize our look good, feel good group. Okay. Here's what I'm going to say about this. And I said this here in the beginning. Okay. Consistency is key. If you do this one time, you do one post and then you don't post again for 2 weeks, guess what? People are not invested in your story anymore. Okay. One post is not going to change your life, but showing up every day consistently will. Okay. Consistency is key. It's key with your products, it's key with your story, and it is key with sharing your story. Okay. Why is consistency key? Okay. 3 things. Number 1, trust. If you are consistently building that story and sharing that story every day, people are going to start to trust you because they're watching and they're following along on your story as if it was a soap opera or as if it was reality TV, right? They're going to get invested, which leads to them trusting you because they feel like they know you at that point, right? They're so invested in your story that they feel like they know you. Okay. And that leads to trust. You trust who you know, right? Okay. Second, visibility. This is huge for social media. Okay. Now, should you be posting 100 times a day? No, 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 no. Too much, too much. Okay. But consistency with posting in this format at least once a day, okay, about either your business or your story with the products, because you have stories with both, right? We have stories with our products, we have stories with the financial side. You can incorporate the two. You can post them separately. Kind of a really good rule of thumb that I have found is, as far as posting, not everything needs to be about your business. Not everything needs to be about your products. Not everything needs to be about that, right? You want to incorporate your normal daily life because that is going to help people trust you. That's going to help them get to know you, right? And so, good rule of thumb, an engagement post. I did one today actually, and it's done pretty well. Make it something that people want to comment on. So the one I did today was about Nashville. We have Nashville coming up, right? And so I put 2 different pictures and I said, should Chris and I dress up as Blake and Gwen for a Nashville, a dress as your favorite country star, you know, party? And here's a good rule of thumb when it comes to engagement posts. Make it something that people can't scroll by without wanting to comment on it. Okay. Another good one that's done really well is I've been posting a lot of things about our house. Should we put outdoor furniture and what kind should we put? People love to give advice, they love to give their opinion on things. So if you give them, hey, should I do this or this? Should I buy this dress or this dress? Should I paint this wall blue? Another good one was I posted a picture of our island in our kitchen. I said, should we paint this navy blue? Tons of comments. People love to give an opinion. Okay. Is that going to directly get people to order from you? No, but also yes, because it is building that relationship. Number one, it is eventually going to cause them to see more of your content, possibly about your business, possibly about your products, because once they comment on one of your posts, guess what? With how Facebook works, they're going to start seeing more of your stuff. So if you can get them to comment on one thing, it's more likely for them to see the rest of your content. Okay. So something good, engaging that's going to make them want to comment. Okay. That's one style of posts. That's a good thing to post each day. Um, Second thing, obviously, either about your business, about the financial side, the products in that format that we just outlined, right? And then another one is just about your family or something you're interested in. If you're a foodie, maybe it's the food you ate, maybe it's anything like that. Your kids, what you're doing as a family, because that's going to help build that trust as well. They know you're a real person with a real life, and they're going to find those little things that they identify with that's going to make them start forming that relationship with you, that trust, right? That eventually could turn into them wanting to try what you're doing because they trust you. Now, okay. So we talked about consistency. Oh, the last thing about consistency, y'all, it builds momentum. Okay. If you are consistent with your posting, it takes time. Okay. So I will say with social media, it's not, like I said, it's not a one and done. It's not a post sometimes. It's not a post once and you're going to be a crazy influencer with 10,000 followers, right? It is consistency over time equals success for social media. Absolutely. Okay. Each post is going to compound on each other as you're building your story, especially. Okay, if you build it the right way and if you share, like I said, every part of those, and as things change and as you notice new things, and as you're losing weight or as you're gaining more energy, whatever your story is, if you keep building on that story, it's going to keep that momentum up and it's going to compound on itself. Okay, momentum. All right. As far as adding, tagging, and messaging, ATMing, right? We talked a little bit about this a second ago, as far as utilizing our good feel good group for that adding, tagging, and messaging in there. Let's talk about that really quick. Why does it work? Okay. Why does it work? Number one, it's low risk. You're not asking somebody to click your link and go buy something. You're saying, hey, I'm going to give you some value, right? By adding you to this group and letting you read all of this stuff and experience this group. Not asking for a sale. Okay. We're not asking for anything like that. It's a free value, doesn't cost them anything to go and learn about these products, doesn't cost them anything to read some of the reviews, right? It's knowledge that they're getting for free. You're doing a service for them. And we have that giveaway in there right now. So there's that added value that, hey, they have a chance to win something for free. Everybody loves that. Okay. So, everybody, I will say this, everybody that engages in your post, whether that's a story, whether it's a post on your page, whether it's someone messaging you, asking a question, you should be adding every single one of those people into the Look Good, Feel Good group and utilizing the adding, tagging, and messaging. So, quick, easy thing. You add them to the group. Okay, tag them in posts that, don't just tag them in random posts. Tag them in posts that relate to something they're dealing with. Okay, guess what? That requires a conversation first, right? And so let's say somebody commented on one of your posts and they're like, "I would like info." Okay? What's your next step? You're going to say, "Hey, I would love to give you that info. I'm going to message you." Right? Message them, okay, and ask them, here's a good opening question that I like. I would say, I saw that you commented on my post about my weight loss or about my energy or about whatever your post was about, right? um what is it in your life that you are dealing with that made you comment on that post? Or you can say something like, my post was about weight loss. Are you only looking for weight loss? Or tell me what's going on with you health wise. I would love to create a custom combination of these products from this line I'm using that I think would help you. So feel free to share whatever you're dealing with so I can make the right recommendations for you. Okay. So you can open up that conversation. And guess what? As they're telling you these things, oh, I need help with energy and my weight and this and that and that. Then kind of pause the conversation and say, hey, I think you would love this group that I'm in that has over 16,000 people that are also using these products along with me and sharing their stories too. Would you like to see some other people's stories too? I would love to share some of the stories in there. Can I add you to it? Right? Then you add them to the group. Most people are going to say yes. Okay. You may get a few here and there that don't, but most people are going to be curious about that. Okay. So add them to the group. And then whatever they told you in that those first few questions that you asked, search in the group. You can search in the top, right? Search in the group and search whatever it is that they're looking for, right? Whether they have a specific thing like Hashimoto's or like, inflammation or pain or whatever they've told you. Okay. Search it, find some good posts, tag them in it. Okay. Go back to that message conversation and say, hey, I just added you to the group. Here's the link for it. If you don't know how to get the link for it, y'all, go into the invite button and right in there, it's going to say share group, I believe. If I'm right, I think it's going to say share group and it's going to give you an option to copy the link to the group. Okay. Drop that link in there. So then after you've invited them, right, then they also have the link to easily click into the group. Okay. They don't have to go search for it and say, I tagged you in a few posts that I think are really going to help you, that are with that are about things that you're also dealing with, that other people have found some really good solutions with this product line for. Um, Let me know if you can check out those posts and let me know what questions you have, right? Okay. And then that's going to open up that conversation anymore. Now, will some people not go read those posts? Yes, sometimes. So wait a few days and then check back in. Hey, did you have a chance to look at those posts? Right? Simple question. But utilize that group, okay? Adding, tagging, and then messaging. And that's going to start opening up that conversation. And most people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I saw this post, right, that you tagged me in. Can you tell me more about this product that they're using? It's going to let you in to tell them then some of that more information about these products and answer their questions based on those posts. Use the look good, feel good group, right? And use the giveaway we have going on right now for sure. Okay. Other reasons of why using that group works. Number one, it's low risk, right? It's not costing them anything. It's not asking them to purchase anything. It's just giving them free information and free value. It builds urgency. Okay. It builds urgency. That's the giveaway part, right? Right now, we have a giveaway going on. So you want to get in this group right now. Okay. This is only until this date. So can I add you so that you can get in for this possible free product? Okay, use that urgency. And then momentum. Okay, when you get people into this group, guess what? There's constantly new stories being posted. People are constantly posting new content in there. So once you get them in there, they're going to start getting notifications from the group. They're going to start seeing when stuff's posted in there. It's going to cause them to ask more questions. They're going to see more stories. They're going to see more experiences. And eventually, sometimes it takes people longer, right? But eventually they're going to be like, okay, I'm sold, right? Like I have seen 17 people now post about this DHS and them losing weight. I better try it too. Okay. And so it's going to start building that belief in these amazing products that we all know are amazing, right? But our potential customers, our potential associates, they don't know that yet. Okay. But that group is going to help them build that belief from more than just your story. Okay. I've got homework for y'all. Okay. I've got homework for y'all. First homework assignment, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about how to also a few other methods besides just posting in social media that you can use to get people added into this group to also build your business. Okay. But first homework assignments, write these down. Number one, I want all of y'all to create a post using those 4 steps that we outlined in the beginning. Okay. The before, the breakthrough, the during, and the invite. Okay. Number two, homework assignment number two. I want you to ATM, add tag message, 5 people. Okay. 5 new people. And then I want you to send a screenshot of that for accountability to your mentor or to your team thread or to wherever you are involved in. Okay. For accountability, because holding yourself accountable. All right. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say to you: you don't have to be perfect. Guess what? The best posts are the ones that are authentic, they're real life, they're not super structured and perfect with the right words and the right, it's your story. People that follow you, they are going to relate to that because they know how you talk. They've seen your other posts. They know, if they know you in real life, right? They know how you are. So the more authentic, the better. Does not have to be perfect. Just do it. Just do it. Okay. Get out of your own way and just do it. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for the perfect words. It's okay to be messy. It's okay to be not good yet, right? We all hear Tina say that all the time. Start when you're not ready, because you have to start somewhere, and you're not going to get ready until you start and learn as you go. So just do it. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about tapping into your warm market in other ways besides just social media, right? Just a few other tips. Okay. Your warm market, what that is, that's going to be the people that already at least semi know, trust, and love you. Okay. Friends, family, some Facebook followers. I mean, some may not yet, right? But some Facebook followers,
They
people
were
that have
just,
followed you for a while,
they
all of
weren't even
those
the kind of
things.
nuts. They didn't have very many cashews in them.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Okay. If you're new, here's what I'm going to say: your warm market is untapped and you have a gold mine. Okay. Because you are just starting out. Okay. So keep that in mind. Okay. Let's see. Here is a key for this, for tapping into your warm market. Don't be salesy. Be authentic. Everything goes back to that being authentic. Okay. Be sincere. Share your story. And if you have the mindset that you are in this to help people and not to sell people, you are going to do much better. Okay. So keep that in your head, that you are in this because we're all in this to help people, right? That's why we all joined, is to not just help ourselves feel better, but to help other people and get that opportunity. So keep that in the back of your mind always when you are approaching people, is that you have something that they need, right? You have something that they need. You're not trying to sell them a product. You're trying to share something with them that could help them. Now, here is other ways that you can get people added to the Look Good, Feel Good group and be able to utilize the giveaway we have going on this week. And that as a resource to build your business. Okay. Different ways of utilizing your warm market. Okay. Your friends list on Facebook. Who has gone through your whole friends list and gone through and said, this person might be interested. This person is probably not. This person might be interested. Oh, I know this person has been wanting to lose weight. I know this friend, they've been struggling with their energy. I know this person is a really tired mom and she could probably use all these products, right? Who has gone through your whole friends list? Drop it in the comments. Drop a one if you have think that you have messaged every single person on your friends list in Facebook. Drop a 5 if you're like, yeah, I haven't done that. I haven't done that. Okay. Let's hear it in the chat. Okay, good. That's what I thought. There'd probably be a lot of 5s. Okay, your friends list, y'all, is a really good potential for this same strategy. Okay, this same strategy. You can do the ATM, the ad tagging and messaging, off of your friends list also. Okay, just a little bit different approach. Okay, I will say, when you're starting this with your friends list, the first thing I want you to do is, before you ever message someone, right? Make sure that you're going to their profile and you're commenting on some of their posts, right? Showing some interest, asking authentic questions, making authentic comments, and find something in one of their posts, right? That you relate to, that maybe you have a question about. Maybe they posted about a really good restaurant that they went to and you're like, ooh, that looks good. Message them and say, hey, I saw that post about your restaurant. What do you like from there? Okay, something that's going to open up a conversation. Don't post that. Don't message them and say, "Hey, I have some products. Do you want to try them?" That's not going to go very far. It's not going to go very far. You want to open up that conversation just as if somebody had commented on your post. It's just a little bit different way, right? A little bit different way. So that's what you're going to do the first thing if you're going to utilize your friends list is you are going to go and comment on some of their stuff, see what they're about, see what's going on in their life. Maybe they just had a new baby. Maybe they just got married. Maybe they something. Find something, send them a congratulations message, right? Whatever is relating to what they've posted, and use that to open up the conversation. Okay. And then once you open up the conversation, get to chatting with them, get to know what's going on in their life, right? And then you can bring up, right, the group, and there will be a spot in that conversation where they'll probably ask you about yourself or how have you been doing? And guess what? A really easy response is, I've been doing amazing. I found this supplement line back in March or whatever, and I've lost 5 pounds and I've done this and this and this. And guess what? That's probably going to cause them to ask a question, which can lead that you into saying, "Hey, I've got this amazing group. Do you want to be added to it?" Because there is so many people using these products, sharing their stories, and I think that you would really love it, right? And find something relatable there. Okay, so utilizing your friends list. Okay. Um, you can also utilize that friends list to go down and look at people's profiles. And because a lot of times when people are struggling with energy and their weight, and, they've most of the time made some sort of comment on their profile about, "Oh my gosh, I really need something. I've been drinking these energy drinks, and who has a better energy drink or something." Usually you can find something to open up that conversation. So look for those identifying factors that may open up a conversation that maybe they've posted about looking for a way to lose weight, or maybe they've posted about taking daily walks, right? Or maybe they've posted about, being so tired from going to all their kids' sports games. Some little thing that may open up a conversation. So look for those, okay? Now, family and close friends. Let's be real. We all know it's kind of a rule of thumb that typically your family and your close friends are not going to be your best customers. But don't count them out. Okay. Don't count them out. Utilize them just as you would your friends list. Connect with them. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them what's going on. Tell them how much better you're feeling, but ask about them first. Okay. Ask about them first. Guess what? Your family and your friends, you probably know a lot more about them than you do about your Facebook followers or your Facebook friends. And so use what you know about them. You probably know if a family member is struggling with their weight. You probably know if a family member has a health issue going on that one of our products could help with, right? And use your knowledge of that already when you're reaching out to your family and to your friends, right? Think of people who have seen you at your worst, right? Think of people that have seen you exhausted, that have seen you burnt out, that have seen you, having financial trouble, that know your before that we talked about, right? And use that when you are talking to them, saying, "Hey, do you remember like last year when we couldn't make our house payment? Or do you remember last year when I couldn't even get out of bed because I was so exhausted and anxious? Guess what? I found this and it's helped me so much," right? You utilize that when you are reaching out to these people. Okay. Bonus ways to start conversations without cold messaging people, because I will tell you this, you guys, nobody likes a "hey girl" message. Nobody wants a "hey girl" message out of the blue, trying to sell something that goes against everything we just talked about, right? You're going to the sales instead of the storytelling, and we are storytellers. We're not salespeople, right? So instead of cold messages, try, you know, posting a story with a poll, posting some interactive content, posting those engagement style posts, um, posting something that's going to get some reactions or something like that. Then you can utilize those people that view your stories, right? That comment on your posts. to do our ATMing, right? Our ATMing. Um, okay. Here is what I want you to add to your homework assignment, and then I'll open it up for a few questions if any of y'all have some. Okay. I want you all to make a list of 10 people in your warm market. Okay. So those people that you already know, it can be friends, family, friends on Facebook that you know, make a list of 10 that you think there could be at least one product or the business opportunity that could help them. Okay. Number one. I want you to add at least 3 of those people also, okay, into the Look Good, Feel Good group today and tag them in at least one post. Start that ATMing process, okay? And then I want you to send them a voice message, okay? Instead, a lot of times when you are messaging people, I will tell you this too.
Were we supposed to get the
We all
flowers today?
know that when you're messaging people, when you're texting people, whatnot, sometimes it's really hard to get across number one, your excitement, and number two, what you're trying to say. A lot of times people need to hear it in your voice because you may type something out, right? And they can't feel that expression. And things can be taken wrong and this and that. But if you leave a quick voice message, people are going to hear the excitement in your voice. They're going to hear the authenticity in your voice. And so don't be afraid to send a quick little voice clip. A lot of times people are more willing to listen to that. And guess what? This too. When you send a voice clip, they can't just read it and exit out. They actually have to listen to it. Okay. They actually have to listen to it. And then they're going to hear the excitement. They're going to hear the realness in your voice as long as you are authentic, right? And truly believe in what you're telling them. Okay. So I challenge all of y'all to send at least one voice message. And then, of course, for that accountability, screenshot what you've done, send it to your mentor, send it to your sponsor, right? And just say, okay, I did this. I did this, right? For your own accountability. Okay. That is what I have for y'all today. If you have questions for the next couple minutes, feel free to unmute and ask a quick question, something that relates to this. Otherwise, did y'all get some good knowledge and some good content out of this and some good, nuggets that you can take back? Where is the video? It's in the Look Good, Feel Good group, Miss Nancy. It is under the it should be one of the first few things that you really see, but it's going to be under the, oh my gosh, I'm totally blank, guys. What's it called? What's it called? The
I think
not
it's featured. Is it
featured.
featured?
There you go. Thank you. I'm like, I am blank. I am blank.
I have a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we're inviting them to the group,
Mhm.
how long does it take for them to get the notification to accept?
Okay, so that notifications are hard. Sometimes it sends, we all know Facebook is really weird about notifications. So
Is
that's
that how they
why
send
as
it
soon
though?
as you send that invite, send them a message and say, "Hey, I just sent you an invite to this group," and include that link to the group. That way, in case they don't ever get the notification or they don't see it, they can easily click on the link and get into the group. I know
Okay.
that everybody, all of the diamonds and stuff, we try to approve new people pretty quickly. So they should be approved pretty quickly. So always message them right after because you can't rely on Facebook to actually send the notification or for them to actually see it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you. I have been sending them the link, but I thought they
Oh,
had to
good.
wait for the notification because I also told them watch out for the notification. So that may never come, right?
That's, I mean, sometimes, yeah. So definitely always send them the link because that's going to be an easier to make sure that they know which group. And so they have a way to get there without the notification.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Yes, invite first and then send them the link. Absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all are welcome. You are welcome. Okay, if there is not any other questions, again, I hope y'all got some great nuggets. I want y'all to go do your homework, okay? And I am so excited for y'all to get some people added into that group. Use that giveaway. Use the Look Good Feel Good group, y'all. It is one of our biggest resources. I can't stress that enough. Use it to build your business and to build people's belief in our products. Who is excited to go out there and do your post? I want to see all your posts dropped on your Facebook profiles, right? All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. You are very welcome. Y'all have a great weekend, and I will chat with y'all later. Bye, y'all.